Hello, friends of PennFuture. I'm Jeff Mauk. I'm the Executive Director of the National Caucus of Environmental Legislators, NCEL, coming at you from Glasgow, Scotland. I want to thank you for inviting me to share my experiences from COP26. NCEL is a nonprofit organization that was created by and for state legislators. We organize a network of over 1,000 environmentally committed state legislators from all 50 states and both parties. We don't lobby for or against legislation, but we provide venues and opportunities for lawmakers to share ideas and collaborate on environmental issues. I want to give a shout out to all of the great environmental legislators in Pennsylvania, including former Representative Steve McCarter, who was a longtime NCEL champion, and Representative Chris Rabb, who serves on NCEL's board of directors and just does so much work on climate justice and a range of environmental and other issues. So this is NCEL's first time attending the Conference of Parties, COP, and I'm in Glasgow with a small delegation of state legislators, and we're here to highlight the kind of work that all of you are doing in Pennsylvania. We want the world to know the great things at the state and local level that all of you are fighting for. So for the activities that are happening at COP, first of all, I'll let you know it's a massive conference with multiple zones. Activities include the actual negotiations between the nations, as well as plenary sessions and side events at the hundreds of pavilions set up by countries and nonprofit organizations. It's especially great to see the U.S. administration showing up in force. And so far I've seen John Kerry, Gina McCarthy, and Jennifer Granholm all speak. We hear that Pete Buttigieg will be here later, and of course the president himself was here at the start of the conference. And while here, our delegation is taking part in various events and panels on state-led climate action, including just transition efforts, coastal resilience, carbon pricing, and a lot more. And our first events actually started today. We had one on a panel on ocean justice that we formed in partnership with the Center for American Progress. And our big marquee panel that we're planning is going to be tomorrow, Saturday. We're calling it Global Issues, Subnational Solutions, and it's focused on how states are working to address climate change. So state action on climate has been critical and groundbreaking in the United States. For years, states have been leading the way on climate action. For a couple of examples, more than 2/3 of U.S. states and territories have some form of renewable energy standard or a clean energy standard, and more than a dozen have committed to 100% renewable energy. States are transitioning their fleets to zero-emission vehicles, making buildings more efficient, and providing natural landscapes to enhance carbon sequestration. And while states are pushing forward and state action is important, we do need federal and international action. And that's why states are here at COP. Our main mission at NCEL with this delegation, is to share that states have charted a course forward and that the federal government can use that as a roadmap. And they hope to see the federal government step up their ambition and goals at this COP in their negotiations. So leading up to COP, legislators from across the country released a sign-on letter calling for just that. Over 500 legislators from 47 states and territories are calling for the federal government to abide by the Paris Agreement to prevent 1.5-degree warming and achieve full decarbonization by 2050. And just want to shout out again those Pennsylvania legislators that signed on to this letter. So with that, I think I will get to a couple of questions that people had for us. And so I'll start with one that came in. What's been the most surprising aspect of COP26 so far? And, I'm happily surprised that it's actually happening in person. I think it's crucial for major negotiations like this and shared learning that really, it's so important for that to happen in person. And I give a lot of credit to the United Nations and the UK government for creating conditions that feel safe and productive by requiring masking and daily testing. And I'm also just really surprised by how big this is. Until you see it, you just can't imagine just what a huge, massive event this is. And I couldn't imagine it until I saw it for myself. So one more question that came in from some of you is, how has the international community reacted to America's relative lack of climate action over the last 5 years or so? Well, the international community seems glad to see America participating back in these talks, but their optimism is cautious. People want to know that the next administration won't come in and then pull the U.S. out of Paris Agreement again. And so that's why the states are so important here. While federal commitment has wavered, the states have remained consistent in their commitment to climate action. Through the last 5 years, states proved that America was still willing to lead on climate action, even if the president wasn't at the time. So it has elevated the platform of subnational work COP has, and I think it has shown that regardless of who's in Washington, D.C., the world can rely on states for climate action. So I'm excited to be here, and even though we're facing this global crisis, it is possible that these subnational solutions are really making a difference. And then we're hearing a question came in, what hasn't happened yet that you are most hopeful will transpire by the end of COP26? And like I mentioned, I and the 500 legislators from 47 states that signed on to this letter, we want a bold agreement coming out of this. So I think it is our hope that while here at COP that we see strong commitments come from this and towards a clean energy transition to meet these goals. And so you can find that on our website, and you can look us up at ncelenviro.org. Invite you to follow our daily blog there. You can see some of the other things that are happening here. And always be in touch. Anything that we can do to help out, we want to be of help. So thank you very much, and appreciate your time. And thanks for the opportunity to speak with you, and have a great day.